Alright guys, so in this video I am going to be talking about why I do think college football is superior to the NFL. There's a few main reasons I'm going to get to, and really this is nothing against the NFL. I've kind of had a weird relationship with it, whereas I've gotten older, I don't know, I've kind of fallen out of love with the NFL, but when it comes to college football, just kind of as a casual fan, the first thing I think you got to look at, we're talking about the months September, October, November. They're some of the best months of the year. College football on a Saturday, NFL on a Sunday. To me, it's a completely different vibe. Saturday versus Sunday. Saturday is better. It just feels better. Sunday, you're not going to do anything. It's like Saturday is insulated in the weekend. Like you can go to sleep on Saturday night and know tomorrow is Sunday as opposed to it being Sunday and then the next day is Monday. So I do think the vibe of watching football on Saturday versus Sunday is better. That's a reason right there. Another reason I like college football, it's just way more games. I mean, not only do you have all of the Saturday games pretty much starting at noon, sometimes they'll do a game, it'll be like 11:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. Sometimes they do that as well. But you'll have a noon window, you'll have a few 2 o'clock games, you'll have the 3:30 window, you'll have 4 o'clock games, you'll have a few 5 o'clock games, you'll have 1 or 2 6 o'clock games, you'll have the 7:30 window, you'll have the 10:30 window. You'll get a little Hawaii game at 11:59 Eastern time. It's just amazing. NFL, the thing with the NFL that really annoys me is when they'll have a full slate of games, or maybe like a few teams will have buys. Do you guys know with the NFL how they changed the whole bye system? They used to do it to where there would be weeks like week 10, week 11, like 6 to 8 teams would have buys. It feels like half the league would have buys. They've changed it now and they've spread it out. My main issue with the NFL schedule, they'll have 9 or 10 games in the 1 o'clock window and then there'll be 2 4 o'clock games. That never used to happen. Maybe I'm just remembering it differently because, nostalgia when I was younger, but I always feel like they used to do like 8 1 o'clock games, and then there would be 2 4:05 games, 2 4:25 games, and then, the Sunday night game. I just like college football just because it's on a Saturday, you've got games going throughout the entire day, and as you get later into the season, college football has done this thing to where now there's games pretty much on Fridays, on Thursdays. Are they good games? No, but they're a nice little appetizer, right? They're a nice appetizer. You sit down, there's some college football on. It's a good thing. It's a good vibe on a Friday or a Thursday, even with the MAC games on Tuesday, Wednesday. I think that's, that might be a little bit too much. That's later into the season, but I also like that factor. And then when it comes to college football, I do like the more scoring. This is something to where I do feel like it's pretty cut and dry. NFL versus college. NFL, they're professionals. There's going to be better defense. We get it. With college, there's a ton more scoring. There are a lot more blowouts, but I do think people are going to be pleasantly surprised with college football in the future. When it comes to the 12-team playoff, you're getting more teams into it. One of the big arguments is you've got like the top 4 or 5 teams hoarding all the talent. It's like Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, maybe now USC with Lincoln Riley, but it's the same few teams with all the high-end talent, so that's why they always win. So that's definitely a negative with college football, and obviously this is a losing fight for me. The NFL is way more popular. I still like the NFL. You know what I think it was? I'll say this. I was a really early adopter to the red zone. I'm sure by now everyone knows what the red zone is, but I got it in like 2011 when I was young and no one else had it, and it was so fun. It was such a great vibe, and I don't want to say it got ruined because it got popular, but I'll be honest, honestly, that's what happened. It just got so popular. Everyone's talking about the red zone. You wake up in 2017, 2018. No, it was more like 2018, 2019 is when the red zone started getting bad because just everyone was using it and it just kind of got ruined because it got more popular. That is something that can happen, but the red zone back in like 2013, 2014, the former NFL was unbelievable. I still think the NFL is great. To me, it's just more of an entertainment and a vibe thing with college football. You wake up on the Saturday, you've got college game day, It's 44. Actually, you know what? It's like 48, 49 degrees out with a high of like 61, 62. Maybe the high is 57, a little windy. You got some clouds. It's October 23rd. It's a great vibe with college football on a Saturday morning. And it's nothing against the NFL because, you also do have, although I'll be honest, I was recording these videos for college football to where I would react to the college football games, and it would take me till like 2 a.m. to upload the video. So all of last year, I was waking up for NFL Sunday just completely out of it because I was getting like 7 hours or like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I'd go to sleep at 3 a.m. after recording videos. But just in my opinion, I think the vibe is better Saturday versus Sunday. The more games, the more action. Absolutely, you can argue the talent pool is a little crazy with college. The top teams hoarding the talent. It can be boring, when Ohio State faces Kent State. Absolutely, I agree. That's why I've already said, listen, everyone in college needs to adopt the 10-game conference format. And then you get 2 non-conference games. One of those games has to be against another Power 5 team. The other, you can schedule a cupcake. We want to limit it to 1 cupcake per year rather than what we're seeing right now. You've got a team like Georgia virtually with 4 free wins. They're not facing everyone. That is a legitimate criticism of college football. Some of the scheduling is ridiculous. Even like Ohio State's schedule, two out of their 3 non-conference opponents are both horrible. It's 2 free wins. It's non-competitive football, and that goes back to the whole playoff situation. That's why the BCS national championship was so dumb. You couldn't lose a game. So what happened? Teams didn't want to schedule anyone because even if you lost a non-conference game versus a really good team, chances of being one of the top 2 teams after losing a game are slim to none. They introduced the 4-team playoff. That helps a little bit, but still, there's no 2-loss teams in the 4-team playoff. And now I think with the 12-team playoff, you're getting more meaningful games at the end of the year. You're giving more teams chances. You're allowing teams to schedule more, liberally with tougher opponents. That's the whole idea of it. That's why the 12-team playoff will help college football. People say it'll water down the sport. I'm not sure what they mean by that. The issue is people don't understand the reason you were seeing, all of these games like Eastern Michigan versus Michigan and Ohio State versus Kent State. These teams were scared to lose. There's no reason to incentivize scheduling a tough opponent. If you lose 1 game and you're done, you're not going to schedule a tough home and home. Now you could lose 1, 2, maybe even 3 games. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. We want more big games. And for me, I just wanted to make this video. The NFL, if you were to ask me in 2014, 2015, I would say the NFL is way better. Really, it's kind of trended down with me on both of them to where I've become a lot more of a casual fan who just enjoys watching them because it's a great vibe and things like that. But I'll say, I do think college football is better than the NFL, and I've probably thought it for 3 straight years now, just based off of all the action, the vibe, all the different games, all the networks involved. You've got games going on throughout the entire day from noon to like 3 a.m. Eastern time. I do also have to mention when it comes to college football, of course, the NIL mess, and it is what it is. You're dealing with it. It's a free market. But that has virtually eliminated following recruiting. Most of the kids are just going to choose the school who pays them the most money, who gives them the most benefits. College football, because there's no commissioner and there's no real leader, the entire NIL system has been completely botched because originally when it was introduced, you had kind of these fake rules that really no one had to follow, and several teams started blatantly quote-unquote cheating, because I guess technically it was cheating, but nobody was enforcing it because the NCAA is so weak, and then now everyone is just cheating. It's one of those things to where yes, the kids make the schools a lot of money, so it's like you kind of have to pay them, but also we can admit if you're going to give $2 or $3 million to a 17-year-old, it might not end up well unless you really coach him on how to handle that type of money. But either way, guys, that is just my opinion. Either way, I still like college football personally based on everything I referenced. Saturday versus Sunday, you've got more games. You've got more good games. Yeah, some of the games, they're going to be blowouts. That is what it is. Honestly, I'm always excited for when a team scores 60 or 70 points. We're still waiting for that very rare 80 burger. What did we get it back in like 2013, 2014 with Wisconsin or something? We need a team to score 80 points in college football, and that cannot happen in the NFL. I mean, if a team scores a 50 burger in the NFL, it's shocking, but that's kind of why I like college football over the NFL. Guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.